What's happening, people, and welcome to the Rambling Dad Podcast, episode 12. I'm joined today by Lewis Glover. How you doing, man?
I'm fantastic, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
No, not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. So I wanted to bring you in today, man, just to get a little bit about you, find out who you are, like what you're all about, and obviously recently you told me that you're going to be having a daughter. So congratulations on that. But yeah, let's get into it. So, who is Lewis Glover?
Who am I? My goodness, where could we go with this? I guess in the context of this podcast, I'm a big MMA fan. I put out a little bit of content for Combat Sports UK. I host my own MMA podcast called the Punch Drunk Pod with my mate Adam, who's over in Sydney. Me and Adam we went to postgrad sports media diploma course together at university. That's where we met.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, so been a bit all over. It's probably why my accent's all over the place a little bit. Lived in Australia for many years.
That's a funny one, right? So see, when I first met you, right, and I'm standing in the queue for the meet and greets, and I'm like, right, I'm going to put it up on Twitter. Where's folk at? You straight away. I'm in this pub. And just by chance, that pub was on the very fucking left of me. I was standing, 3 feet?
It was like, I opened the door. I was like, hey!
Spotted you straight away as well. But when I first spoke to you, man, I was like, this guy sounds like he's from Liverpool or something. So, were you born in England originally?
Yeah, born in England in Southport. So, Southport, 40 minutes, about 40 minutes from Liverpool. So, yeah, definite neck of the woods, but not a Scouser. I'm a big wool as far as they're concerned.
Yeah, same mate, same. I'm from Warrington, you know what I mean? So probably just about as far away as you are, half an hour, 40 minutes. So a big woolly back as well, right here. So wicked, mate, 2 woolly backs, so let's get fucking going. So yeah, we met in London for the first time, like we were just saying. So how did you find the weekend, man?
It was unbelievable. I think I got in on the Thursday and just started doing all the stuff that the UFC put on, the different meet and greets, the press conference, nice. the Q&A, all that good stuff, man. It was unreal, and linked up with a bunch of great guys as well. And we just had a blast. It was a brilliant experience.
Mm-hmm. That's what I really enjoyed about it as well. Not just the fights and everything itself, but excuse me, the social aspect, man. Getting to meet everybody and getting to chat to everybody. It just made the experience that little bit more, I mean, like really worth going. I plan on going for the full weekend in July. Obviously, I only made it down for Saturday due to work, etc. But I'm hoping to get there for the weekend. Won't be there on the Thursday for like the weigh-ins or the conference or anything. Are the weigh-ins on the Thursday or the Friday? Fuck knows. I'll figure that out. But yeah, so it'd be good to get that full experience that you got. How many times have you been? How many events have you been to?
So I've been to the last 3 London ones, very, very fortunately, and then the other UFC event I've been to previously was back in 2014, which was my first one, which was in Orlando, which was wicked as well. I was living in America for a little bit, and went to see there. Got to see Cowboy Cerrone against Edson Barboza. That was unreal. Fabrizio Verdun against Travis Brown. Khabib, before he was Khabib, was on that card. Looking back, it was man, it was pretty unreal.
Yeah, mate, that's fucking awesome. I'd love to get out to International Fight Week at some point. That would be fucking amazing. So you're in Hungary now. So where did you go to uni and meet? Was it you say you met Adam at uni, or were you studying college, or?
Yeah, so I did my like undergrad bachelor's in Brisbane. I did an exchange program to America, hence getting out there to Orlando.
Nice.
And then once I graduated there, I took a job in Hungary, and then that's where I my wife, and I was there for about just over a year, and then got offered a job back in Australia with the same firm. Went to Sydney and was doing a bit of work, and then that's where I decided to do a postgrad in sports media, just as a bit of a passion project part-time, and that's where I met Adam as well. So been studying a few different places as well. Now we're back in Hungary. Yeah, now we're back in Hungary, mate. We came here in would have been June or July a couple of years ago, and sort of for our second marriage due to COVID, and got stuck here. Couldn't get back to Australia, and we're like, you know what, we're loving it here. Let's stay and settle back down in Hungary, and here we are.
Did you missus from there originally too, or is it just work that took you out there? Or?
Yeah. So work took me out there. My wife is Hungarian, and we just met at work. Very very convenient time. We started to see each other about 5 weeks before I was due to go back to Australia. And fortunately, she followed me, and it all worked out. But could have been touch and go for a minute.
She got stuck with you during COVID, you mean? Yeah, that's what this guy's on lockdown with me. Can't get away.
I mean, yeah. When you put it like that, there was a little bit. You know, we've been together for a little while, but yeah. COVID probably meant she couldn't get away anymore.
Nice. So how long have you been together, if you don't mind me asking?
No, not at all. We got together in 2016, so coming on 7 years now.
Yeah, right. Nice, mate. So I've been with my missus for. Don't need to think about it, Jord. Gonna get myself in trouble. 13 years. What we on? 2020. Shit. Yeah, 2010 I met her. Yeah, so yeah, 13 years now. So we done the long distance thing for like a year. She was at uni. I was just working. So quit my job. Fucking moved up to Scotland because obviously she was studying up here, and the rest is history. You know what I mean, got a house, dog, and a kid and everything now. So it's the way life goes, isn't it? But
really,
but
that is the way, man.
Introduce yourself to the missus of the international man of mystery here. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm in Brisbane, I'm in USA, I'm in the UK. I never know where I am from week to week. You know what I mean? I'm a busy guy, but here's my number if you want it.
Yeah. Tell you what, I'm impressed with your commitment there, mate. Just quitting a job and going to make it happen. That's exactly what she did for me. Like our long distance was from Hungary to Sydney, from Budapest to Sydney, and she packed it all in and moved across the world for me, and it worked out. But anyone who does that, I got mad respect for.
Oh, it's not easy, mate. I jumped on a train with 4 backpacks, 4 suitcases, 2 guitars, 2 skateboards, and off I trotted at the ripe old age of 19. You know what I mean, or 20, I think.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, mate, just bounced off on my own up to Scotland. Everybody gave me 2 weeks. When I got to 10 years, I was sitting there giving them all the fingers, going, 2 weeks, what? 2 weeks, what? You know what I mean? So, like I say, that 13 years ago was my first lad's holiday as well. It was a boy that I was working with. One of his mates dropped out. He said, you want to jump on it? I was like, yeah, no worries. They were meant to be staying in one hotel in Bodrum, and I was like, oh, Bodrum's not that bouncing, boys. I've been there. I've been to Turkey is where we went, so... been there a couple of times. Marmaris is a little bit better. Got the holiday changed. Ended up getting the hotel. The hotel ended up being double booked, so they changed our hotel, and bang, that's where my missus was. It's like it was written. You know what I mean? You couldn't actually fucking come up with it.
It was, man. It was. Love that. I love that. That's awesome.
Madness. So yeah, you're going to be a father in June. Is it right in June, yeah?
I am.
Yes, mate. Baby
in
girl.
June.
And
baby girl on the way. It's surreal, man. Oh, I mean, I'm so bloody excited. It's going to be unreal, but obviously some nerve, anxious anticipation. Mate, I'm sat here in my little podcasting booth, and I look to my right, and we've got a pile of shite that's 5 feet high. I got prams, furniture, toys, you name it, and the pile just keeps growing.
It sounds like you've got a lot of family and friends around you that are just offering you little pieces here and there. So that was one thing I covered in one of my last podcasts, is if you're going to be a dad, you like saving money, just wait until everybody else buys you your shit, because I'm telling you, the amount of stuff that gets thrown at you is unfucking believable. So where were you when you found out? When she came through and she was like, boom, I'm pregnant. How was that?
Sat on the couch. It's quite funny because she just brought out a little PCR test, and I'd only ever seen them from bloody COVID. I was like, what are you showing me a COVID test for? Like, that shit's done. She's like, it's not a COVID test. I was like, what do you mean? And the line was faint as fuck as well. Like, I was like, what are you telling me? And she was like, I think I'm pregnant. I was like, what do you mean you think?
Go and do another one.
So she'd gone to the shop and bought 3 different ones, and I was like, go and do them all now. What we sat fannying around for? She's like, no, this one's supposed to be first thing when you wake up. I was like, oh, I can't wait
that long. Yeah, that's it. So my time was I was actually in bed having a nap. I must have been asleep for about half an hour, 40 minutes, and she come through, and it was just the way she was like, Jordan, and I was like, I don't know what it was, man. Something in my head, I'm sitting there going, she's pregnant. Like, it's just the way she was waking me up. I felt like some news was coming. And anyway, she wakes me up and she's like, I'm pregnant. He puts up the stick in front of me, and just like your missus, she had done 2 more that were sitting in the bathroom already. And I went through and I looked at them, and I was like, no way. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, like you say, surreal moment, isn't it? It's not
Yeah.
something that you can take in all at once. You just don't really know how to react. Like, you're happy, you're excited, fucking maybe cry a little. Yeah, I mean, all sorts of different emotions, man.
Mate, that's it. He just didn't know how to process it. And I tell you what, for the first few months, it still didn't quite feel real. And then, as more things develop, you find out whether it's going to be a boy or a girl, and so on. And then you think, as you go through the process, it just becomes more and more real. But genuinely, for the first couple of months, I think we would sometimes forget that she was pregnant, other than the fact, be like, wait, no, you can't eat that. Put that runny egg down, or, put that salmon down, or whatever. The thousand things that seem to be all the delicious things that she wants to be eaten and can't be eaten. I'm like, I'll have that.
Yeah, fucking vent, mate. Absolutely vent. That is exactly the way that it goes. Yeah, I mean, you're all over the place. And I said this as well, and even speaking to mates when they've found out that they're going to be dads, and what, how are you finding it? I was like, there was like lulls in between, like you say, you don't think that it's happening. It still seems surreal, and I felt like I had lulls between these scans and between everything where I would just forget about it. Meanwhile, she's going through all the fucking changes under the planet. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sitting there with me fucking chocolate and me coffee and whatever else, just like, yeah, you're all right. You sound.
Yeah, I know. I tell you what, though, I don't think society today gives men enough credit for what we go through during the pregnancy as well. It's tough for us as well, brother. We've got to drink all the excess alcohol. We've got to drink all the additional coffee, and take all those things that our wives and girlfriends and partners can't have.
Yeah, and as well as take it in the air a few times when they've got some moans and groans, mate. That comes along with it too. So yeah, men's mental health is a big part of it. So yeah, right, let's crack on with it. So, how's the pregnancy gone so far? How's your missus been finding it? Like, how was any mad cravings or anything like that?
Mate, tell you what, I can't sing her praises enough. She's been an absolute trooper, and I think I've been really lucky. You hear some horror stories about people have had to go through and stuff like that, and touch wood, everything's gone brilliantly so far, and she's been a diamond, man. So. It's been a really pleasurable experience so far, and the best bit, we went a few weeks ago to go and get one of those 3D scans.
Well, that was my next question, man. Is where are you up to in the scan stages? So go on, carry on, smashing it.
Yeah, we did one of those 3D scans, and like they do they send you the video afterwards. Yeah, and literally while you're sat in the room, they got one of them Samsung 3D tellies, and they chuck you your movie glasses, and they're like, "Here, watch this." Unbelievable. Like that again, that was another moment where it was like, wow, this is for real. You can see everything. Like, there's a little nose, little hands. Yeah. Tell you what though, she's working on a good cross guard. Hands up, man. She's gonna be she's gonna be a scrapper. She's got good hand positioning already.
That's what you want, mate. That's what you wait until you start trying to change nappies, right? Because my daughter has got some wicked hip escapes. I'm not even joking. She plants her feet and she shrimps out. Like, I even put her in a leg lock, bro. Figure 4 leg lock.
Figure 4.
I've got it wrapped around her waist so she can't get away and climb anywhere because she started crawling and walking and everything now, mate. Honestly, it's unbelievable. Like, and just the natural movements and how to shrimp and get out of these positions for these kids is phenomenal, and how they know how to do that. Well, that's awesome. And wait until she's born, man, and actually grab your 3D scan and put it next to her and do a comparison. And I'm not shitting you. It's unbelievable how close these things really are. You know what I mean? Because I was looking at it going, is that what she's going to look like? That's mental, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, obviously some bits are shaded more than others, and you're just like,
yeah,
what's going on there? You know what I mean? Some of it looks a bit mad as anything, you know what I mean? And then when she actually came out, I was like, whoa, that's actually really close. That's absolutely mental. So the heartbeat as well, mate, hearing that thing is, you never forget it. It's a sound you never ever forget. I even think about it now, I can still hear it. And what I done, I'm a bit of a musician myself, an amateur, a 3-chord master, as you would like. Just give me G, C, and D, and I can ring you anything. But so what I done was I grabbed my phone, I recorded the heartbeat on my phone, sent it to one of my friends who's got all the fucking recording equipment and everything. He put it into his software, opened it up as a sound wave, and clipped me the sound wave of a heartbeat. So I've got that. So I'm wanting to get that as a tattoo, but I just need to think of a design.
That's amazing.
Man, it's wicked. Like, so if you get the chance, mate, I really would record it and see if anybody, because even just as a little picture on the wall or something, do you know what I mean? Just a little
yeah.
Sign, phenomenal piece. Yeah, I mean,
I rate that. That's a really good idea, man. I like that.
Honestly, mate, it's wicked. Like I say, I need to get it. It's actually funny when you look at it. It's like a little TIE fighter in the middle of it. The shape that the heartbeat when it goes down and comes back up. And my daughter is called Vader Ray, but it's like Vader as in like Vayda. So if I can get that TIE fighter in there and have her heartbeat going through it, there's something with Vader on there too. A little Star Wars sleeve, but like a memorial like to my daughter at the same time would be phenomenal. I just need to think of something that I could do with it.
I'm sure you'll be able to come up with something that's pretty rad.
Oh man, it is. It's cool. Like, so have you guys started thinking of any names? You got a list?
We do. We've got a short list. Although I think the top seed is starting to pull away down the final stretch.
You don't need to tell us, mate. You keep them all.
No,
all
keep it here. But yeah, I think that one's starting to pull away.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was funny. We were just lying in bed last night, and we're like, okay, we're gonna like start to decide on this thing. And my wife goes, Nora, she goes, yeah, I think we probably already have. And I was like, oh, okay, great. Like I'm happy about that one. Like I really like it. And she goes, well, I already had to like register on one of like the baby shop things. And she pulls up the app and she's like, got the name there. I was like, huh. And it was the first time seeing it written down. I was like, huh, I like that. That kind of works. So I think we've got something now. Nice, I think unless, crazy things can happen. Things, we still got a few weeks to go. Something could pop up. Exactly. But
so before you found out if you're going to have a boy and a girl, what did you start writing out lists of boy, girl?
Tell you what. She was fuming with me because I wouldn't entertain naming discussions at all until we knew it was I just couldn't put my head in the space.
Mate, I can see it. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I was like, loads of time. I was like, well, fine. I was like, once we know, I'm gonna go down an avenue. And the other thing as well is it's not like a super challenging thing, but one thing we wanted to do is make sure that we could pick a name that both sets of grandparents could pronounce, because my in-laws don't speak a whole lot of English, and my parents don't speak a single damn word of Hungarian either. And there's some pronunciations going on and stuff like that. So I was like, well, let's narrow it down 50-50. Then we know what we're working with, and then we can go from there. So that was sort of the process we worked through.
Yeah. So what we done was, like I was saying originally, was boys names, girls names. We were doing that, and there was an app that we used. It was called Kinder. So it worked very much like Tinder, but it was for baby names. So you would select what gender, blah blah blah, which country, origin, all sorts of like cultural things would go into it too. So then you would put all of that in, and then it would just start generating a name. And if you liked it, you would swipe to the right. If you didn't like it, you swipe to the left. I don't know how Tinder works. I've been in a relationship for 13 years. Whichever
Good
way
save. Nice save.
Whichever way you swipe. Swipe left or swipe right, whatever it is. So you'd swipe and it would save it all in a list. And what it would do is if you swipe the same name and your missus swipe the same name, it would then have it as, because you would add each other as the mum and dad, and then it would accumulate a page for you both to look at to see all the names that you both like together. So I thought that was a pretty damn cool thing for an app, to be honest with you. We never even ended up using the name off the app though. You know what I mean? So it was all good, a bit of fun, to be honest, but we ended up looking at just baby names online. And the thing is with that is everybody searches for unique baby names, but nobody wants a common baby name. But everybody's searching for unique. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, sure, you just go and look for the most common baby names, and you're not going to get one of those running around much anymore, because everyone's looking for the fucking unique shit. You know what I mean? But I don't know how I got away with the Star Wars shit, bro, if I'm honest. She came home one day and I'm sitting at.
I was going to ask. I mean, I'm guessing that was your influence. But how did you get that one across the line?
It was smooth, mate. It was smooth. So I was sitting, I was just playing my PlayStation. She comes home one night and she goes, "Oh, seen this name before and I really like it. What do you think?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, go on then. What is it?" And she was like, "Vader." I was like, straight away in my head, I'm like, Darth Vader, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I love that. Get that on the list. That's absolutely fantastic. That's brilliant. So we bang it down on the list. Eventually, then, like I say, what we done as well was with our daughter is when after she was born, we still didn't have like a one that we were set on. We had a few that we liked, including Vader.
Yep.
So when my daughter was born, she was born with a respiratory infection. Ended up being antibiotics and neonatal for a night, and then when she got out the next day, antibiotics for 5 days before she was allowed to leave the hospital. So the meaning behind Vader is beautiful yet strong as a flower. Oh, beautiful as a flower yet strong. Or something along those lines. I think it's a German origin, Grandparents were of German origin too. And then obviously she went through all that stuff. She went through like all the adversity of coming out with a respiratory infection, beating it and getting through it. And, you know what I mean, beautiful as a flower, yet strong as a stone or something like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we ended up going with that. So it just really worked. And then I'm sitting there like, I just got to call my daughter Vader. Like, I'm never getting away with this again. And the missus still didn't even realise about Star Wars until somebody mentioned it, I think. And then she was like, hang on, wait a minute. And I was just like, yes.
It's too late. It's there. It's done. She's not changing it. That's it.
Been registered. You're fucked. You know what I mean?
She's not a rescue dog. You can't just be changing names.
I'm just looking forward to Halloween when I can dress her up as Vader and I'll be as Chewie with some handcuffs standing next to her walking around.
I was just going to say, mate, I'm surprised you've even, you're going to wait till Halloween. That she's not already just on the daily in, all black breathing apparatus, little red stick to batter people with.
The dog, she chases the dog mostly. You know what I mean? So as you mentioned before, you've got a lot of shit building up. You've got a mountain of prams and everything else. So what have you been doing to prepare for the baby coming? You got the nursery set up yet? How's that, things like that going?
No, we've got a room. I got to shift a bed out of there. My father-in-law's coming with a truck to help us with that. And once we've done that, then I can get in there. We're getting the room painted. We got all the stuff pretty much here ready to go. And I've got in my head how it's all going to be lined up. And I'm optimistically thinking it's going to be a weekend's worth of work. So that's
easy, mate. Easy.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not the handiest of men when it comes to assembling DIY. There's a greater than 50% chance I'll put stuff on backwards.
Yeah, mate,
one way around. And then for fuck's sake, got to pull it all apart.
Mate, learning curve. I'm the same as you. I've never really been that handy, but YouTube, mate, is the absolute savior for all dads if you need to sort something out.
Absolutely.
You can watch it, try it. If you get it fucked up, go back to the video and go back again. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Yeah, that's it. Try a few times. I tell you what, though, I never thought I'd be so excited about car seats and prams and travel systems. That is some complex shit, and I'm sat here going, hang on a minute, like because all I know about baby stuff is sort of like I can vaguely remember when I was a toddler what was stuff, and then when I got a younger brother when he was a baby and seeing what was out and about, and that's it's 25 28 years on, and it's unreal the stuff that comes out and the technology. I'm blown away by the fact that the car seats now come on these bases that you can twist 90 degrees. Mate, so you don't have to like reach around to put them in, and the chair comes out and it clicks straight into the pram.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it as well when I was younger, trying to help somebody put a pram away, and it was an absolute fucking ball ache. Mine is literally 2 clips on the side and it all collapses together.
Mate, there used to be death traps. You get your fingers chopped off in them. They were violent.
Fucking wild stuff, man. But you don't even realise how much shit you really need, do you? I mean, like, but I take it, is it the Joey 360 seat that you've got? If we're talking, I was getting to make some models there, son. You got the Joey 360 5000 S Plus going.
So we're actually working with Bugaboo is the brand.
Nice, mate. Nice.
Is the pram and the ISOFIX and so that's all Bugaboo, and then we've got a few other bits and pieces, but we've got a shopping trip planned on I think on Sunday. We had a baby shower this weekend, had about 30 people over, which was just unreal. Wasn't your traditional baby shower. It was honestly my excuse to have a load of people over, buy a whole bunch of beers and prosecco and put on a big spread and just have a good time with friends and family. And it was
all in the name of what you can't go wrong.
Yeah, it was brilliant. And we got spoiled by our friends and family, and so we got some vouchers. So we ordered a bed ages ago, and these twats have been messing around. They sent bits of it, didn't send the rest of it, trying to get a refund. So my wife, bless her, because one of the tough things is that everything that's got to be done online, every bit of email and paperwork, she does it all because I don't really speak much Hungarian and I can't, so she's got to handle all of that kind of stuff as well, which is, again, tough on her. So she's dealing with that. I was like, you know what, just sack it off. We'll get the refund, and we're going to go to the shop on the weekend that we got vouchers for, and we've got a bed and changing station and stuff all picked out. So we'll get that in, and Yeah, man, we'll be good to go.
Awesome, mate. If I can recommend anything to you, bro, I'd be getting a chest of drawers with a changing table on the top. You're only going to use that changing table.
That's what we're doing. We're getting one of them. And she was laughing at me. I've got an absolute beam. Actually, I've got an absolute beam in my bonnet about the drawers having to be the quiet close ones. I'm like, I'm heavy-handed. I'm clumsy and heavy-handed as fuck. And I know if I'll be just letting a drawer go quietly in the night, not quietly rather. I need that protection there to stop me going and rattling the whole thing. So
I've
that's what
we go around the house and put all these magnetic clips on the cupboards to stop her from opening the cupboard up, absolutely tearing fucking everything out of them and launching it all over the place, mate. So I'll send you the link to the ones that I got because they're pretty handy. Yeah, I mean, I think they're only 15-20 quid or something, but honestly, mate, you're gonna fucking need them. So as you said, they're the furnitures that you're gonna get. You've led me on. So how are you feeling about changing nappies, bro? Because some of these things are fucking minging. I'm not even gonna joke with you. Like, I don't know if if anybody's shown you any pictures, give you a heads up of what's to come, mate. Wow.
I tell you what, though, I'm a pretty grim, horrible bastard myself at times. So it just sort of goes on from there. After a big night on the sauce, some things happen from time to time. So you just crack on.
Yeah, you got your tenor pants on, yeah, making sure that nothing's leaking out the side. Are you squeamish or anything? You're all right yourself, all right.
No,
Sean that was with me in London, mate. He can't handle changing a nappy. He's told me he's like nose pulled back away from it, ready for spewing and all sorts. Like some dudes just can't hack it. But mate, you'll be changing a shitty nappy. My daughter ended up doing a shit about 3 times in 20 minutes. Honestly, you change one nappy, bang, it was the next one, and then you get these punamis that go all up the back, mate. Like, and I mean, all up the back, out of the nappy, all up into the hair, like fucking around every crease, nook and cranny you can imagine, mate. I swear to God. So Godspeed, bro. All the best to you on the
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm gonna need
it. So what are we? Where are we? We're in May, mate. Not long to go now. What's the due date?
15th of June.
15th of June. Ooh, literally what? 5 weeks? 4 weeks? 4 weeks and a bit. Could happen any moment now, really, mate. Not to put you in the bricks, like, but I mean, you better get that fucking nursery sorted, and you better go and get that.
No, I know we got to get this fucking bed shifted.
You got that ISO seat in the car yet? You better fucking pull your finger out of that because that takes half an hour and all.
I think you might be right. I think that might be going in this weekend.
Yeah, mate, yeah. I think it's time for a few coffees and just absolutely fucking sprint on there, mate. 4 weeks, wow, man. I can remember being 4 weeks out and thinking, fuck anything, anytime now. So has your missus been like starting to nest or anything? Has she been like panicking about things not being ready yet? Or?
She's has a few moments, but overall she's pretty even keel. We're going for a visit next Tuesday to the hospital where she's going to deliver, just to sort of get the lay of the land, meet the doctor. Okay. We've already got the midwife sort of picked out and contracted. We're doing it privately here. Nice. Just for better options with the language barrier, and also just more comfortability and privacy as well. So we're doing the private route, and we've got everything picked out.
Right, wicked, mate, wicked. So you're going to be the birthing partner, obviously. Probably just only one over there. There's only one person allowed in over there. That's all we are allowed as well. I know some places usually let you.
I think so. She might change her mind and maybe ask her sister to come in as well. But yeah, for the time being, it's going to be me and her.
Right. Okay. Are you ready for it?
Yeah. I think so. I'm just you just gotta crack on with it, man.
That's it.
She's the one doing all the hard work and going through the stress and the headache. It's not it's not my job to get stressed out and panicked. It's the opposite. So
so you just going all, if you don't mind me asking, if you don't need to say anything, but you just going all natural, just everything's going. My missus herself went for an epidural because she can't even stand stubbing her toe, never mind pushing out a kid. So she was like, fuck it, I'm getting the epidural. There's absolutely no fucking way I'm not getting the epidural before this happens, and then we're going in and getting it fucking done.
But that's the plan, all natural, and that's the sort of with the midwife she's gone for. But that's that's best case scenario. But things don't always go as intended. So we've got the all the contingencies in place. But that's the plan right now.
I mean, for what it was with the epidural, mate, Godspeed again, man. Jesus Christ. When people tell me they go all natural, I'm like, fucking hell, man. That gives me the fear. I'm just like, no, I don't think I could go anywhere near that. So have you read any books? Have you looked at any videos? Looked at anything to just give you an inkling of what you're supposed to do when you're in there? Because I'm like, everything's going on around you, bro. Like a million miles a minute. You know what I mean? It's all happening. You don't know your ass from your fucking elbow at that point. You're away to the fairies. You know what I mean? You've been awake for possible hours. Like my missus went into labour on the Friday. We never had the Vader until the Sunday. So it was a very long process going to the hospital. Sorry, excuse me. Going to the hospital, getting sent back home because she wasn't further enough dilated, having to go back again because she was still in pain, coming back home again, going back to the hospital again. Oh mate, honestly, it can be a long stretch. My missus just wasn't dilating enough. She was at 1 centimeter for quite a while, and they won't do the epidural until you get to 3 or 4, I think. Just took hours and hours and hours, mate. You can be bouncing on balls and going for walks and eating all the curries you want, but sometimes that baby's like, no, I'm comfy as fucking, I ain't leaving.
Yeah, I'm all right here. Yeah.
Sound. I've seen the news today. I ain't coming out there. You can fuck off. You know what I mean? So yeah, what's your thoughts? Like I say, are you
yeah, we went to a class together, and that was really helpful. Okay. Got some good information from that, and yeah, over the next few weeks we'll be just going through a bit more material and preparation and getting the birth plan together and all that kind of stuff. So
oh man, it all happened so fast. I think my missus was probably like I say, she was at the 3 days, but she was about 9 pushes and she was done. The baby was out, and I was just like, well, that was pretty fucking quick. But yeah, we were on the verge of an emergency C-section. So because she'd been for the epidural, they break your waters and everything for you, which basically starts it. And due to the baby being in there for so bloody long, like, because I think the waters and epidural and everything was done at around 4 or 5 in the morning, and then she never had her until 2 o'clock, like 8 minutes past 2, she was born. So all of that time she was in there with the waters broken, everything. So everything's kicking on and everything's going, and the heart rate, Vader's heart rate started going through the roof because she'd been in there for so long. It's quite stressful for them, etc. So they were on the verge of an emergency C-section. But at this time, they'd already told us, oh, she's still at 4 centimeters, she ain't going nowhere here. So and this is why we might need to do it too. All right, cool. So I went outside, started messaging people, just updates, friends and family. This is where we're at. This is what's happening. Might need to go for emergency C-section. As I'm doing this on WhatsApp, Hillary messaged my missus Hillary. She messaged me straight through saying, I'm at 10 centimeters. Get back in here. That's all I read. Fucking turn around, heel toe, absolutely started sprinting through the hospital, running through the warders. I get through the maternity ward and just sprinting through, and two of the receptionists like, is everything all right? I'm like, she's 10 centimeters. And all you see is the back of me and a bit of dust as I fly down this hall. I think that must have been about 20 to 2, and then like I say, she was born at 8 minutes past 2, so it can absolutely fucking fly in once it starts going.
Bloody hell.
And in the middle of it all, like she'd done a few pushes, and you were like, wait until you already love your missus to death. You've probably got all the appreciation and everything for her in the world, respect a lot of it, but wait until you see what she does in this room, bro. And I'm telling you, it changes massively. Like, takes it to levels above you never would have experienced before. Halfway through, pushing out a baby, my missus turns to me, holds my hand, and goes, "Are you all right?" I'm standing there, like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Am I all right? I'm like, you've got a baby half hanging out of you, and you're pushing like a fuck, and you're asking me if I am okay. It was one of the wildest fucking moments ever, and I just couldn't believe. That's fucking women, though. My missus, anyway. I mean, it's like empathy towards everybody else. Like some guys, just whatever, cut off from the emotional side. I'm a man, you know what I mean? I'll do 5,000 push-ups and get through this. But, like, mate, to turn around and be like, yo, are you okay?
Are you okay? You know what
I mean? Genuine meaning in the middle of all of that happening to her. Like, wow. Honestly, wow. And that moment is going to stick with me for the rest of my life. And I tell it to absolutely
I can imagine.
Everybody, mate. So, have you thought about, if you don't mind answering it or anything like that, have you... considered like breastfeeding or formula feeding or anything like that, how that's going to go?
Yeah, I mean the plan will be to be breastfeeding, assuming again everything goes right, and just one of those things, and hopefully it works out.
It should do, man. Like it's I think from what our experience is, my missus breastfeeds, has done from the start. Has your missus started like taking out any colostrum or anything yet? I'm not sure if you caught my other podcast where I was talking about pregnancy as a dad. Like I say, my daughter had the respiratory infection, and this colostrum is the stuff that comes out before the flow starts coming properly. And they call it, I don't know if you've heard of it, liquid gold. And even now,
yes.
4 weeks out, mate, I would highly recommend speaking to your missus, and if she's up for it as well, getting some syringes and just start trying to express some of that colostrum as much as you can. Absolutely everything's in it that the baby needs, and I swear to God, I think it's what helped Vader recover from her respiratory infection as quick as I could. And I couldn't, and this is another thing that I tell every single dad, even if they aren't planning on breastfeeding, the weeks before it, just pull out that colostrum, man, because it, like I say, liquid gold is an absolute lifesaver, and it's got everything that they fucking need in it. So yeah, that is one thing that I would recommend to you, mate.
Appreciate the insight.
And good luck to you again with the breastfeeding. Like, it's very, 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 very tough for mum. Very tiring. You know what I mean? Very dehydrating. Also very tough for you. And I mean that from a side of, they get this bond, they get all this time, and there's times where you're trying to soothe your daughter, or, you know what I mean, and she just doesn't want you. And it's something that it's a mad thing in it.
Like,
and I know I'm not even joking, mate. Like, so my daughter will be screaming her head off as soon as my missus walks in the room. She's like, and I'll hand her over to her, and she's like laughing and smiling and all. And I'm just like, yeah, you knew exactly what you were doing. But to begin with, man, for the first few months, like when I was trying to soothe her or get her to sleep or anything, it can be quite damaging on you too, man. You're standing there thinking, oh, I'm fucking useless. I can't get this done. You know what I mean? Why can't I do this? Oh, my daughter hates me. Obviously not like serious, my daughter hates me, like, oh my God. But at the same time, you start getting, like, you start doubting yourself, you have your anxieties, all of these things will come, man. So it's just something to keep on your mind of, just keep doing what you're doing. You're always going to be doing the right thing.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'll just go back to fucking up some flat pack furniture.
Yeah, mate, that's it. Yeah, I mean, just like, right, fuck this, I'm going back to that wardrobe. I've still been doing that for the last 4 weeks. He's getting it today. He's absolutely getting it today. So let me just have a little look over my questions there. So, diddly dee. Right, so let's talk about the things that you're getting nervous about. What's creeping in? What main things have you got any worries about, or I guess just knowing if you're doing the right thing, and all the good advice we've had from everyone is just like, it'll be all right. You know, you'll figure it out. So I've always got that at the back of my mind from my parents, grandparents, many of our friends have got kids now. But there's always gonna be that bit like, oh, we doing the right thing? How are we doing this? Da 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 da. And it's just like, look, it'll be all right. And I'd always try to, like, I guess, reassure myself. Would be like, you know, some absolute dossers and wasters still manage to bring kids up in the world, and they turn out all right. Like, if a fucking smackhead can get a kid up, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I think I'll be all right. Yeah. Sentiments before as well, to be honest with you, dude. Like, you wing it every day, mate, to be honest with you. And that, well, you just wing life, don't you? I mean, every fucking day you go out there and wing it. So, I
mean, they still employ me at my real job, and I'm winging that every day. So, you know,
fucking hell, but somehow I'm still going. So, as we get into it, and like I said, with the breastfeeding and the bond and everything, so what things do you feel like you could do as a dad to make that bond with your baby? Obviously, the breastfeeding is going to take a big chunk away from you, mate. I'm not going to lie, like, it is tough when they do that. Like, trying to make a bond in other ways. For me, it was just being that silly guy. You know what I mean? The silly Billy, always trying to get her to smile and play and whatever else. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm a big old knobhead like that as well, so I'm sure it'll be a lot of that. But honestly, man, I just don't think there's any substitute for time, and it's just putting the time in whenever you can, and that's what I intend to do.
Are you a patient man? Have you? Go from 0 to 100 pretty quick, or are you all right?
You know what? In certain situations they can, but it'll be really small things. Yeah. But like important things, I can be quite patient with, and you know, I'm quite good with things like that. Uh-huh. Small things will absolutely wind me up, like the Wi-Fi is not properly working, or I can't get my Bluetooth headphones to connect, and I just want to absolutely lash my laptop or whatever across the, just get enraged with it. But other stuff with people, with situations, I'm pretty even keel. So I'm hoping that those are the attributes that are going to come to the fore.
I'm the same as you when it comes to big situations. I'm quite patient, but if see me behind a fucking wheel whilst I'm driving, mate, Jesus Christ, I have not got any patience on this fucking planet. I'm like, fucking move. I swear to God, people do me fucking head in. See these people that stop at an empty roundabout, fucking stopping at an empty roundabout for.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
or people that like act surprised when the light goes green, and you're like, well, what did you think was going to happen here?
Oh, mate, a fucking pain in the ass. But I've only been driving for 3 years as well, but I swear to God, I've probably got the amount of moans of a 30-odd-year-old fucking driver, like experienced driver, 30-odd-year experienced driver, mate. I swear to God. I go fucking absolutely mental. So, what you like in the mornings? Obviously, you've got a little bit of patience there, but are you a grumpy man when you wake up in the morning, or quite chilled out?
No, I'm
usually go about it.
That's it. I mean, I love coffee, and that is, you know, I lean on coffee anyway, but I'm going to be mainlining that shit. I can imagine when we start
straight into the fucking arm as you're walking around, baby in one arm, IV in the other. You know what I mean? That's what you.
That's it. That's it, brother. That's the plan. But no, I'm all right. I don't mind getting up in the morning. I'm very glad that she's going to be a summer baby, and because that's definitely going to help with being up in the mornings, get the blinds up, let the sunlight in. That definitely helps with just managing the fact that you're running off minimal hours sleep. And I gotta say, I'm pretty adept at managing and staying up. And I know it's going to be way worse, and it's going to hit me. I'm going to go, holy crap! But I also think my theory is there just has to be something that gets unlocked in you, because everyone before having a kid is like, no, I need me sleep, and then everyone's like, you just crack on and do it. I'm like, it's unimaginable to me, but I'm just hoping that there's something that gets unlocked, because if not, the whole world would go to shit and fall apart, because everyone's got to go through it. So that's my hope. But staying up late doing the mad hours for the UFC, getting up early to do podcasts before work, that kind of stuff. It's head. Oh, it's good, but it's gonna be I know it's gonna be mad, but I'm also a very good napper, and I can snatch 10 minutes anywhere.
Anywhere. It doesn't matter what's happening. My missus gets fuming with me because I can do that and she can't. You know what I mean? She's like, it's not fucking fair that you get to go for a nap just because you can fall asleep, and I'm like, well, it's not my fault that you can't fall asleep.
You can throw it back. It's not fair, but you got to breastfeed and bond. So
get it up, that's not something you use in an argument, bro. Write that one down. Do not be bringing that shit up, I swear to God. No, fucking hell. There's a lot of things like that. You're just gonna need to zip it and fucking throw it away. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be opening your mouth for most of those fucking things. So sleep deprivation, bro, is one of the big ones. So me, before my daughter arrived, was I'll play games until silly o'clock in the morning, and I'll sleep until silly o'clock in the afternoon if I don't need to get up and do anything, if I've not got work or whatever like that. Watch the UFC card, go to bed at 6:30, 7 in the morning, getting up at fucking 3, 4 in the afternoon. That's all flipped on its head. Now I'm watching UFC until 6 o'clock, and you're up at 8, 9. You know what I mean? So you're just like walking around like a zombie for most of the day. Same with playing games. You know what I mean? Going to it. So I recently dropped 9 hours at work, just doing 30 hours, 3 days. Vader's at nursery, one of them. I'm getting to it. So that's one thing that I'm enjoying right now. Is obviously the missus was off on maternity. She had 12 months. I managed to get 6 weeks. So now it's kind of flipped. She's back at work pretty much full time. She's doing 30 hours as well. So she watches her on a Wednesday. I've got on Monday, Tuesday. She's at nursery on the Thursday, and then I've got her on the Friday as well. So it's like daddy daycare 3 days a week. Then I'm in work 3 days a week, and then we get
immense.
Manager might watch this. So we asked what day do you want as a family day, and it's obviously going to be Sunday, won't it? Yeah, I mean, so I can watch the UFC, and then I can get up and we can all do it, because my missus doesn't work Sundays off it either, so we can all get something to do on a Sunday. So family day is Sunday, but in case my boss does watch it, it's completely for family day, mate. It's got nothing to do with the UFC. It's just a coincidence it happens on a Saturday night, and
just good timing.
Good timing. Just works out. Yeah, I mean, it was sound. Wink. But no, it was good. Sleep deprivation is one thing that you really need to start managing. And like I say a minute ago about maternity leave, how long do you get over there from your job? Is it quite good? You got a decent package, or?
It's okay. I get 2 weeks paid, and then you can take additional time off. But actually, in Hungary for women, well, for my wife, she's gets a really good maternity package in terms of how long she can take off, how long they keep her job for. Tax, there's loads of tax benefits as well at Cormit. There's really strong family sort of family friendly policies
tax benefits, you said.
Yeah, man.
Flights to Hungary.
Tax benefits, forgivable loans. I think I might be getting this. It's either 3. I think it's 3.
Yeah,
it could be. I think if women have 3 children, they become exempt from income tax.
Oh, it sounds amazing. I mean,
when they go back to work.
Kids.
Yeah, I get the annual leave policy as well. So I get with every kid you get extra days per year that you can take off, and man, I can't complain about it at all. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, sounds decent. I mean, my work was 2 weeks, and then luckily enough, the policy was just changing around about when my daughter was being born, because I think the government are talking about moving it from the 2 weeks to the 3 weeks. So then my work decided, right, we're going to do one little better, and we're going to go to 4 weeks. So they gave us 4 weeks
amazing
paternity. But then the way our financial year works as well was it's like March to March. And obviously she was being born in February. So I had 1 week's holiday left in that financial year that I stuck at the start of it all. So my first week off was a holiday. Then we went into the paternity for 4 weeks, and then I got to take another week's holiday at the end of that. So I got 6 weeks all in. And that's pretty unheard of in the UK, really. I mean, most people are only getting.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've fiddled the system there. That's brilliant,
time, mate. Timing was minted. I said to the next one's going to need to be in February as well if I'm going to work that one out. Shit. So yeah, like I say, a lot of things are going to change. A lot of things are going to happen. You're going to be sleep deprived, all the rest of it. How do you think you're going to manage balancing like your relationship and your workload and podcast and your combat sports and your actual house chores and spending time with your daughter after all of this stuff that's going on too? Yeah, I mean, it's a whirlwind, mate, an absolute whirlwind.
Yeah, man. It's going to be tough, but at the end of the day, I think it's just got to be prioritization and then time management. The amount of time you catch yourself just, sat on the couch watching Netflix, dual screening, sat scrolling, whatever it's called, sat on your phone, doing this, doing that, like all that kind of stuff has just got to go out the window. And then you just figure out the rest and prioritize the most important things, which are going to be, family time, daughter time, relationship time, and then you just figure out the rest if you've got a bit of free time. That's just how it goes.
A second ago you mentioned about socials and everything in YouTube, whatever. I recommend you make another YouTube account, bro, before you fuck up your algorithm. So, my YouTube now is just fucking nursery rhymes and cartoons and Coco Melon and fucking Miss Rachel. Like, honestly, man, I swear to God, it is fucked. I need to scroll through about 5-6 different threads along the YouTube timeline to find one UFC video or MMA related content, and it's right smack dab in the middle of Thomas the Tank Engine and friends and fucking Coco Melon or something, and you're just like, oh, that'll do, mate. I swear to God, it's all coming.
Yeah, that's a great shout. I'm well across Thomas the Tank Engine, but I look forward to discovering the joys of Coco Melon, because I've never heard of Coco Melon.
Oh, Jesus Christ, mate. Want to? And Miss Rachel too, like, as much as she is a pain in the ass and everybody else that's on the show is a pain in the ass too, they're actually really fucking good, really educational. I believe her husband is in Broadway or something like that, so it's like very musically, very art, everything about it's actually a really good show for them to be watching, even though you like don't just plank them in front of the fucking TV with YouTube on all day, you know what I mean? But sometimes you've got to get shit done, so they've got to fucking sit somewhere because they can't be destroying the house at the back of you whilst you're trying to tidy it up. Yeah, I mean, it's a wild thing. You just need to find the balance of how much is, because that's one thing for us as well, man. Like when we were younger, we never had any of the shit. Like we had TV, you know what I mean? We had VHS. Yep. I remember listening to music on a fucking tape player, man. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
bro.
Taking car trips with a big suitcase of cassette tapes next to you in the back seat.
Swapping them out. My favourite one was fucking Bruce Springsteen, fucking Born in the USA. You'd see me jumping around, singing at the top of my voice. Swear to God. Fucking wild stuff, man.
Oh no, me. The tape's all tangled. Get a pencil out, fix it. Need some more double A's because you got about half an hour of play out of your batteries. You got a plastic bag full of batteries.
I had the Mighty Ducks on that, and you've just gone and fucked it. You know what I mean? So like you mentioned a second ago, like you can't be doing all of this shit going on the YouTube and everything, but one thing that I will say to you, man, is you also do need to make that time for yourself. So as we've made light jokes about it as we've gone through this podcast, we've just been talking about it briefly, but men's mental health during this time, and again, I said this in my last podcast about pregnancy as a man, not taking anything away from a woman, but it is not fucking easy on you too, bro. So again, just my little recommendations and my little shout outs to you is just have your little channels, have your paths, have your people that you can go to, that you can speak to, that you can get some advice from. You want me to be one of them, bro, I'm all ears too. You know what I mean? We can go through this shit together. There is a lot of spanners in the works that can come the way with it, and I don't mean that just in the sense of dealing with the baby. I mean, obviously, managing a relationship, managing working relationships, managing your time, being productive. So this was one thing that I done because I was like, I'm dropping these hours at work. How am I going to stay on the ball? You know what I mean? How I don't want to become lazy-minded at home and sitting down and going, right now I'm all just about dad life, and then not catching up with stuff at work and not being up to date. And I'm a manager. I've got 60 colleagues that fall right into my pocket. You know what I mean? So everything that goes along with that, I didn't want to say underneath me because nobody. I mean, I'm not that guy. I've got 60 people. Like, that's not me. You know what I mean? I've got 60 colleagues that I work with, and they're all fucking phenomenal. How do I make sure with my minimal time in the building now that they get that quality out of me still? Like, how do I give the same expectation? Even though I'm not there for 39 hours, I'm only there for 30 hours, you know what I mean? So then I thought, right, what can I do outside of work to prevent these things happening? So obviously I'm watching my daughter every single day. I've got a routine nailed. We get up, oh mate, I swear to God. So the breastfeeding bit's solid sometimes, bro. Like, she's going to be waking up also, especially in the early stages. Your first 3 months, man, is rough. Like, they're up every 2 hours or something for a feed, especially breastfeed. You might look out, and if you do, I hate you. But if you yeah, it can be fucking solid. So like I say, you're waking up every fucking 2 hours and you just don't know what day it is, you don't know where you're at. And it was anywhere between 5:45 and let's say 7 o'clock. Sometimes she can go to 8, depends how late she was going to bed. We always try 7, half 7, 8 o'clock. Sometimes she won't settle till half 9, 10, you know what I mean? So that next morning you get a little bit longer. But just as you're going through it, so like I say she's up at 7, we go downstairs, we fucking play with her toys, she strokes the dog, plays with him a little bit, get her in the high chair, has a breakfast. As she's having a breakfast, I'm hoovering up, got the dishes in, soaking, everything. You know what I mean? I've got everything that comes full circle, so I've got like 5 different things on the go at once whilst I'm feeding her breakfast, and then by the time that's done, I get all the other bits, it all comes together, bang, it's like 9:45, upstairs, nappy change, out the door at 10 o'clock for a dog walk, she falls asleep, and if I'm lucky, like, it's anywhere between 20 minutes and 2 hours. But if I get 2 hours, praise the Lord. You know what I mean? I can get shit done. I can run in. I'm like, boom, right. And most of the time I start recording a podcast, she's asleep in the pram in the next room or something, just fucking chilling, whilst I'm in here going, what's happening, guys? Check out this fucking fight. Did you see this? And did you see that? That's what half the time, like, when I do my videos and I put them on Twitter, even now, I mean, because I know my missus upstairs, we've got some nursery rhymes on, so she's not going to be able to hear me. 2-bedroom house in the UK, new build. Walls aren't very thick, man. You can hear fucking everything that goes on. So, yeah, I mean, even now, like, bringing some energy and bringing that oomph to the podcast or videos or whatever. When I'm doing it during the day when she's napping, I'm a little bit more reserved. And I'm like, yeah, so let's just go through this, guys, and we can just, you know, shh, nobody fucking say a word in case she wakes up.
Well, shut up! It would be cool!
That's how it can fucking go, man. So honestly, mate, so yeah, back to it, even though we've had a bit of a laugh there. Mental health, super fucking important for yourself, man. Have your channels, find out where you can go and what you can kind of do just to try and process some things, because the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions that you can have are pretty fucking wild. I don't know what type of experience, you mentioned you had a younger brother. Don't know experience what you've got with kids. Like you say, are you just going to be winging it every day and finding out what works and what doesn't work? Which, again, nothing wrong with that. It's what everybody does, mate. You know what I mean? So
that's the plan.
What are some of the things that you're most looking forward to then?
Wow. Honestly, man, just we live in a really nice, quiet neighborhood just on the outskirts of Budapest, and just getting out and walking, with her in the pram in the nice weather through summer and into autumn, man. I'm just really looking forward to that. I think it's gonna be great.
It's wicked, man. Just get out with her as much as you can, travel as much as you can. Absolutely, yeah, because they soak it up, bro. Like, so we were here. I've got quite a big family in England. I'm originally from an Irish family, moved to England. Me and my cousins, kind of first generations, like born in England as well. So as an Irish family goes, they're always fucking massive. I think we had a family reunion a few years ago and about 500 of the fuckers turned up. So and that was like cousins, second cousins, third cousins, aunties, uncles, all the rest of it. You know what I mean? Insane amount of fucking family that I've got. But what I always noticed was every time we went down or they've came up a few times. Funny this, mate, right? So like I said, everybody gave me 2 weeks. I got 10 years and I was like, fucking get it up, yes. Nobody had came and visited me except for my uncle and my cousin and my uncle's fucking best mate, heterosexual wife mate. They're the only people that had fucking came up to visit me until I had a daughter. Next minute, everybody's been up within the last fucking year. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I can see how that goes. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah. I mean, she's the main attraction. No one's asked about you, to be honest, man. Come on, let's be real here.
Big ugly cunt now, just fuck off, get on with it. Show me your daughter and that's it. But yeah, like I was saying, so when we would come up, when we would go down or they would come up, I always noticed a massive leap. Well, not like massive as in like, oh my god, she's just like written a fucking theoretical piece on physics. You know what I mean? So stupid.
She's just solved the Israel-Palestine crisis.
All them years, all she did was drop a boombox in the middle and everybody got down. You know what I mean? So but I noticed these massive developmental parts like changing just from the social interaction, just from going down and absorbing these things, being out in the world. You know what I mean? So we also traveled to Canada when she was 6 months. When you walk on a plane with a baby, mate, everyone looks at you and they're just like, oh, you bastard. And you're like, oh, man, I know, I'm sorry, guys. And you walk into your seat and like they're walking behind you with a bell going, shame, shame, shame.
And you just sat there going, please don't cry. Please don't get ear pain. I tell you what, I've done many a long haul flight in my time between the UK, Australia, America, Hungary, all over the shop, and it is difficult. Let's say when a baby's going absolutely mad, but holy shit, I always think to myself that must be an iota of what the parents are going through with that kid. Shut up, put your soundproof headphones on, watch your telly, have a drink, and be quiet. Like they're doing it. They're doing the hard yards. So,
mate, I've also been guilty of the guy sitting there going, "Shut that fucking kid up! How hard can it be?" And then you get to it and you're like, "This is pretty fucking solid. This, I'm sorry." Honestly, mate, but that if I'm honest with you, dude, my daughter was sound as anything. Never really cried once, mate. No earache, no nothing. I think it would be a bit of a different story now that she's a bit more active. She does not want to get put down on the floor. She won't sit anymore. She just wants to be up, running into everything. The new thing at the moment is whap it. Have you got a dog?
No, we haven't got a dog, and we decided. I want to get one, but we decided let's get through maybe the first 6 months and then revisit the conversation.
Yeah, mate. So my daughter's thing at the moment is banging everything in the dog's water bowl. Doesn't matter what it is. Your fucking TV remote, your PlayStation controller, a fucking crock. You know what I mean? So like, oh mate, the car key's been in there. Absolutely fucking everything gets put in there. And if that's not in it, it's just her hands and she's just splashing about and she's just fucking loving it. You know what I mean? But honestly, mate, you've got to fucking start getting onto shit and hiding it. It's wild how fast they can start moving. Like you say, just getting out and going and doing stuff. Canada was absolutely brilliant for her, getting on those journeys and experiencing it. Like I say, it'll probably be much different now, but I'd highly recommend it if you can even jump on a plane and go and see Adam. I know it's half the world away, but I'd recommend doing it just for the experience for your daughter.
I'm not going that far to see that twat, but
I mean,
no, but my mum, dad, and brother are back in Southport now, so we're gonna making trips over there on a semi-regular basis. My my granddad, who's still living in Australia, he's coming for 3 months over summer, and it's going to be his 80th birthday.
Nice.
So we're going over for a surprise birthday party for him in September. So that'll be the first time we're traveling. But yeah, it's just one of those things we've both said to each other, like we'll just have to crack on with it. My mum and dad are being stars, getting everything that we need over there, so we don't have to, lug a load or as much stuff with us. And so we'll just crack on with it.
It's kind of like the grandparents are becoming parents again, isn't it? That's like my mum and the missus' mum went out, bought their own cots and absolutely everything. So when they go, oh, I actually need to hand over his mother daughter. You know what I mean? Vader, here you go. Bang, see you later. You're going to grandma's. Adios. You know what I mean? And she's got everything there ready to rock and roll. So it's ideal. Like, I bet, did you even just consider, fuck it, I'm not getting a plane, let's just drive?
Yeah, well, I've done the drive with my mum and dad and my brother from the UK to Hungary and back again. It's a fucking trek, man.
Oh yeah, I'm driving to Disney Paris in September, so it's half of the journey. Yeah, I mean, I'll see what it's like. I don't.
That bit, are you doing the Eurostar? Are you doing the ferry?
No, doing the Eurostar, jumping on
the Eurostar.
So my missus has done it a couple of times with her mum, and just her and so actually, like, this child, man, been to England, been to Scotland, been to Canada. She's been to Paris. Yeah, I mean, she's been all over the bloody place. She's been to Disneyland Paris like 2 or 3 times already. She's going again in July, and then we're going again in September. If you ever think about going to Paris, bro, you might as well buy the yearly pass for this.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, bro. So everything, like, you're talking 400, 500, 600, 700 quid for like a weekend if you want to go. It's stupidly priced. For Paris. You know what I mean? Absolute shithole of a city. For Paris. You know what I mean? You're probably going to get robbed and all whilst you're there. So fucking wild stuff. And there's probably about 20 rats running around you too. So, then you look at the yearly, going hard on Paris here, bro.
So you're not going over for Bellator in Paris this weekend?
I'm just going for Disneyland, mate. It's safe in Disneyland. They've got guards with guns and shit. It'll be all right. And nobody touches Disneyland. You know what I mean? So yeah, but you look at the yearly pass, and I think it's only like 500 quid. Then you can go whenever the fuck you want. You just need to buck it up, and obviously you need to pay for your accommodation or whatever. But you're far better just jumping into a yearly pass than you are. Even if you only go twice, I mean, you're getting your money's worth out of it. It's crazy. And then it also comes with a ton of discounts for anybody else that might want to go with you. Maybe your mum or wherever might want to come with you at some point. You know what I mean? But it's definitely worth having a look at. So, like I said to you a second ago, what are the things that you're looking forward to? One thing that I can't wait to do is introduce her to my hobbies and things like that. So what are you looking forward to do with that kind of stuff? Like, what is it that you're into that you can't wait to get your daughter into?
Mate, I can't wait to sit on the couch, have a sat mini and just watch sports and just indoctrinate her into she's not gonna have a choice. She's not gonna tell you. It's just, I'm gonna lock her in and that's it, and we're gonna get into it. Now hopefully that, but just getting outside and doing any sort of outdoor activities together, that would be and there's so much to do in Hungary, especially during summer. There's a humongous lake where we love spending time, which is brilliant. Going swimming, going on boats, going on all that kind of stuff. So just basically anything outdoorsy we can do together as a family is what I'm looking forward to.
That's what's missing in most kids these days as well, to be honest, like we touched on before.
That's the other, man. Yeah, definitely. Which is another thing that we want to try and do, because me and my wife both had all that kind of stuff when we were kids, and we loved it, and we want to try and give her those same experiences and not let it become a prisoner of just technology. Obviously, that's going to be there.
Play a game outside. Of Kirby. Play, have a game of fucking Manhunt or something. Water gun fights, all the rest of it. Climbing up trees, picking conkers. Honestly, man, I can't wait for that kind of stuff too. But yeah, like I say, I think that's what's missing in most kids these days, is they don't get outside enough. They don't experience that playtime, that going out until the street lights come on and making sure you get home before your mum shouts "Gordon!" from 12 streets away, but you can still hear it on the park across the traffic. You know what I mean? It's fucking insane. I can still hear it now sometimes. I walk down the street and I flinch a little bit thinking my mum's just shouted at me, but it's just a bit of PTSD coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, the people who went to Nam think they have bad PTSD. You should have stayed out late in the park. That's a whole different kettle of fish.
Raised by my motherfuckers. You know what I mean? It's fucking wild. So yeah, I think we've covered a vast majority of pregnancy, a bit about who you are and how you're expecting all of this to go as a dad, man. So I think we've been on this for a good hour or so. Not sure how much more time you've got, but if you were going, if you were going to give a bit of advice to an expected dad, somebody that's same as me and you in this position right now, what bit of advice would you give them?
I don't think I'm in a very good position to be given advice at all, honestly. But if I did, I would say, or just remember your role, or the way at least the way I've been approaching it and thinking about things. Your role is to just make your wife, your partner, your girlfriend, make her as comfortable as possible, and whatever avenue she wants to go down, just back it and support it at 100%. That's pretty much it.
I second that 100%. That's what I said in mine as well. Just do whatever you can to make her life easy. Makes your life easy. Whether that's just getting up early in the morning, letting her sleep in, and you doing the housework. So when she comes down, it's all done. It's dusted. It's sound. You sorted. Wicked. You know what I mean? Just the little things really do make a difference. Like even just getting her that glass of water before she goes to bed or something. Even after she's been born, especially when she's going up to do the feeding, like I say, it can make them quite dehydrated. So even just those little things that just can kind of make their life easier, make your life easier. So no, mate, I 100% second that. So wicked. Right, I think that's been enough of the dad chat. Fights at the weekend. Let's hear your thoughts, mate. I've already listened to Punch Drunk before. Had a little gander. Again, shout out to Adam, mate. Fucking fantastic news on his career there. That is wicked. How you
I'm
get
unbelievably jealous.
Me too, mate. I'm not even joking. I went straight onto Google UFC jobs in the UK. I was like, how the fuck did he get into that? What do you do? Like, where do we go? How much dick did he suck?
Well, a mile, but that was unrelated to the job. That was just out of passion.
Yeah, that was a passion project. Yeah. Fucking phenomenal. So you guys are like credited now. Yeah, I mean, you're legitimate. Everything about you. You've got a real UFC employee under your belt, under your wing. You're right.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It is. I just got to wait. Hopefully, he just doesn't cock it up and get turfed out before his probation period is up.
But 3 months to fuck things up still, hasn't he?
Yeah. Which is plenty of time for him.
Nice. More than enough. Don't even know the dude I'm ripping into him. Sorry, Adam, bro. Oh, well, mate. And again, fucking congratulations on your career there, mate. That's fucking awesome. And if you ever get a news to give somebody a bit of shout and get them into the business as well, you know where I am. Fuck this guy. Just come straight to me and be like, yo. So yeah, fights this weekend. What were your thoughts? Get into
mate. It's a pretty good card, and obviously very excited the fact it's going to be in fans again, and we don't have to be subjected to an Apex event.
Yeah.
I know we're leaping ahead here, but my goodness, the fight night the week after Mackenzie Dern versus Angela Hill is one of your daughter's big explosive dirty nappies. That's horrific as an offering goes. But this weekend there's some absolute intriguing matchups. Let's can Johnny Walker continue his resurgence against Anthony Smith? Anthony Smith's probably a bit of a career crossroads right now. Getting in his last outing, we saw him get murked by Magomed. Then he weighed in as a backup fighter and missed weight horrifically as well. And he's just sort of there or thereabouts, but never really getting quite across the line. Johnny Walker's having a bit of a resurgence and looking really good. So that's going to be interesting to see what he can do. And he's got the personality, he's got the look, he's got something that the UFC can get behind as well. Yeah. So I think they're going to be
really, really nice guy as well. Yeah, I mean, like hands down, absolute fucking gentleman of a dude. But I love Anthony Smith too. You know what I mean, the Lionheart man. I honestly think he's probably going to be the guy that gets it done, just to stop Johnny Walker coming up a little bit more than what he already is. But I do love Johnny Walker. I love his style. Yeah, I mean, he's exciting. Always comes out with some funky vibe about him too. He's always dancing or something. Yeah, I mean, you can't not like the guy. But yeah, that is one awesome fight that's going to be coming up this weekend. What did you think of the fights just past? How did you think they went? What was the standout fight for you at the weekend just gone? 288.
The standout fight for me was Diego Lopez making his debut on five days, taking on Evloev. That was unreal,
unbelievable. A fucking Evloev with a fucking 16 fight win streak, absolute monster of a dude. You know what I mean? And yeah, Bryce Mitchell first. I was like, Bryce, this is just a fucking death sentence for Bryce, man. Is he just doing things to take the money here? He's just getting put up against people that are going to absolutely fucking slaughter him. And then Lopez came out, and I was like, wow, like he went for an armbar, he went for a triangle, he went for a knee bar, he went for a leg lock, he went fucking Kimura, he went for absolutely
everything.
Bro, like, the dude belongs, and he's shown that even, you know what I mean, first debut fight, like you say, 5 days notice, and turns up. What can he do with a full camp, bro? He's got a new fan out of me. That's all I could think when I'm sitting there watching.
He's got a new fan out of everyone. He's got some cash in his pocket now, 100%. And he's going to get a favorable matchup for his next gig in the UFC. Yeah. I'm very, very excited to see what he can do next. He didn't really take any damage, so I'm hoping we see him again. Yeah, I mean that'd be nice. I think 289 is probably a bit close for him on the 10th of June, but you never know, and he'll be there because he's if I remember correctly, he's Irene Aldana's coach as well, so he's going to be there. I mean, I don't know whether they can fit any more fights on the card, but you know, maybe he'll take another short notice fight again if someone pulls out. Be like, oh, shit, I'll do it again.
Yeah, fuck it, you're gonna pay me double again. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny when Dana went out to him saying, "Oh shit, one hell of a fight, mate. I'm actually gonna pay you your purse." And went to shake his hand, and the dude just walks away to the crowd and just left Uncle Dana hanging right there. And then Dana just drops his hand and just walks off. I'm gonna stick my living room lights on, bro. I'm getting into a bit of darkness, but we'll get it wrapped up soon anyway. So what did you make of Henry Cejudo and Aljamain Sterling?
I thought it was an interesting fight, quite strategic. Never really caught fire. I was surprised there was so much controversy about it. I didn't watch it live, and then watching it back, I didn't know the results. I was able to, I just didn't look at my phone, which was nice. And just going back and going through it, I was just watching this and I was just like, well, Aljo's just racking up the rounds. Henry's going to have to get a stoppage. And I was actually shocked when Bruce announced split decision. And there's always some fuckery with the judges. And it's a weird one. Aljo deserves far more credit than he gets. And I think eventually the worm will turn with him and he'll become popular, but he's just got to ride this wave of unpopularity. And at some point it will be cool on MMA Twitter to be a fan of Aljo. And then it'll be, I was a fan of Aljo from the beginning when everyone's skittered him, hated him. It'll just be one of those things, but he's just got to keep doing what he's doing. He's racking up cash, pay-per-view points. Good for him.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, you cannot deny your skills. But I was going to say that I'm a bit of a Homer Simpson with what you just said. The Homer Simpson backing into the bush. Yeah, fuck that. See you later. Bye. I'm sorry. So I liked Aljo when he was first coming up. And then when that whole knee situation happened with Yan, it was an illegal strike. The way he acted about it just really fucking annoyed me.
Yeah, he handled it poorly.
Yeah, stood there as if like, oh, what? I can't believe I won that, chucking the belt away. I think it was within an hour he's bouncing around. I'm the fucking champ. I was like, you're a dickhead, mate, is what you are. You know what I mean? So, and I feel like he avoids some areas in a fight, and he just goes like, what really done my fucking head in during that fight was that silly, like, I don't know, fucking Britney Spears dance move he was doing where he's down on all fours as if he's going to be enticing Henry to come down and like roll with him, and he's like ducking his head from side to side and whatever he was fucking. I was just like, man, what are you doing? Just stand up and fight the motherfucker. Like, you're not taking him down, you're not getting on his back. But like I say, I did like him. Kind of got annoyed with his personality a little bit during these last like year or so, 2 years. But you cannot deny the man's skills. That's one thing. I'll say. I'll talk some shit about some fighters like based on personality traits, like Colby Covington. Fuck Colby Covington. I hate that motherfucker. And again, it's just because of this stupid personality bullshit, man. Just be yourself. Like Arnold Allen, Max Holloway, two of the nicest, and that's the fucking fighters that I like really enjoy watching and really fucking back, man. It's just the people that are themselves 100%, and they're just the nicest guys going, man. I mean, I've not got a bad word to say about anybody except from Colby Covington and Aljamain Sterling. Chris Curtis is a bit of a moly-faced bitch on Twitter as well at times. That's how that goes. I'm gonna get punched one day, but it's all right.
So yeah, this is the thing. We talk about professional athletes all the time as if we make judgments on their personality, on what we see, and that it just goes with the territory. It just happens to be that MMA fighters are just mad hard bastards as well.
Yeah, man. And I imagine if I even met any of these people and actually sat down and spoke to them for 5 minutes, I'm like, do you know what? He's actually pretty fucking cool.
Probably, yeah.
From this side of the fence, though, I'm going to sit here giving you 2 fingers. Yeah.
From this very, very safe side of the fence.
Yeah, and I think performance of the night, obviously, we had Lopez for that wicked performance, but the other standout was Matt Frivola, Drew Dober. Mate, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Matt came out flying straight off the gate. I think he had really good control of the range. I mean, he was moving around the octagon, keeping him at distance. He was like working with the kicks. Mate, just everything that he was doing was just wicked, and Drew Dober just didn't really have an answer for what he was throwing at him. Like they had a couple of moments where they traded back and forth.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of them substantial moments that Drew Dober's had in the past, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, man. Totally, man. This, sometimes fighters just get in this moment, and everything Matt Frivola's doing right now is turning to absolute gold. Yeah. I know he's called out Paddy Pimblett, and I know he wants that fight. If I'm Matt Frivola, though, I'm not slowing this train down. Maybe the Paddy fight comes, maybe it doesn't. But right now, he's in peak form. His confidence is through the roof. Mm-hmm. Keep going, young man. Mm-hmm. Take another fight in 3 months' time, 4 months' time. Rest up a little bit. Don't want to be too overactive. I think that's what's caught up with Gilbert Burns. Too many fights in too short period.
I was going to say, but go on, carry on.
Yeah, but crack on. Don't wait for Paddy, because you could sit and wait for Paddy for as long as you want, and that fight still might not materialize, because whether we like it or not, whether you think he's any decent, whether you think he's a hype train, whether you think he's a fraud, whatever, the reality is Paddy Pimblett is going to be calling the shots of who he fights when he comes back, because that's his profile, that's his following, and that's just the way that the game goes. It's sports and entertainment crossing over. You don't want to sit on the sidelines and wait. Look at, for example, Corey Sandhagen is probably going to get completely parked out, shunted out of the situation because Henry Cejudo wants to fight Aljo's teammate Merab. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the UFC will probably make that fight because Henry Cejudo calls it shots. He's a big name. He makes things happen. That's great narrative. They can make it make it
in the octagon after the fight with obviously Sugar Sean's jacket and all the rest of it. And
exactly. So it all just adds in. And Corey Sandhagen's just sat there like, but what about me? Sorry, Corey, you're a great fighter. You don't really have much personality. You did the right thing in having your call out prepared, but this is the way it goes sometimes. And so Matt Frivola, I don't think he would sit and wait. He mentioned on I think it was on Believe You Me, Mike Bisping and Anthony Smith's podcast, that we would hopefully take Paddy on in November, which is like 6 months from now in Madison Square Garden, if Paddy be ready for that, or December in Vegas. But if Paddy's not going to be ready for that, and you get that information in 2 months' time, do not wait, my man. Jump on another card, take someone else, either in the top 15, keep climbing, or take another up and comer in a fun fight, and renegotiate your contract with the UFC. Get some cheddar in your pocket, and take on a up and comer.
That's it, 100%. Because like you say about his fan base, Paddy's fan base, Frivola's fan base is just fucking doubling, man. He's actually just riding this rocket to the moon since he's got that win over Dober at the weekend, and even before that, his engagement on Twitter and everything with the fans, he's always been top notch. You know what I mean? That wasn't a little bit of a meme here and there himself. He's a people's champ, really, if you think about it. In that
he is.
I absolutely love him, and Billy Q, man. The two of them, I enjoy the content that they push out together. I think it's fucking brilliant. It's quite wholesome, some of the stuff that they put out. One thing that I did think about was obviously Paddy's hype train kind of got knocked down with the Jared Gordon fight. A lot of people aren't really liking him anymore with his attitude, his behaviours, and the way that he was going about things, which I'm a massive Paddy fan. Not going to sit here and say that I enjoyed some of the, like, when a fighter has the, I get they all need to have this really strong belief of themselves and that they can get everything done. But this, and me, I'll do what I want and I ain't changing, where you ain't going to go very far, mate. And that's the cold hard fucking truth of it. Yeah, I mean, if you're not willing to change, adapt, and work on your game, and your game's not always working, then what you expect to go and happen? And that's not bad mouthing him. Like I say, I'm 100% a fan of Paddy Pimblett, and I love his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I love his fights; they're exciting. And again, his content that he puts out, he's so relatable. He's such a funny guy. Like he's brilliant. But
agree.
I was thinking the Frivola fight, if you went to go and fight him, is it going to hold as much ground or weight as what it would have done before the Gordon fight, when Paddy was still on that hype? If Matt got him then, you know what I mean? Like, is it going to boost Matt's career to fight him now as much as what it would have done previously?
Yeah. So it's like take a different fight.
But a lot of people will be boosting him because of their now hate for Paddy. As we know, MMA Twitter can be quite fickle with him.
Extremely fickle. That's entirely possible. Tell you what, if I was Paddy though, I would the only fight I would want to have when I come back is just do the Jared Gordon fight again. Yeah. Right, let's do it again. Mm-hmm. And I'll show you that it was a bad night. I'll show you it was me ankle. I'll show you I was dealing with all this stuff outside the cage, and I'll come out, and if I don't stop him, I won't fight.
Crack on.
I'll shut up and crack on, and I won't ask for a ranked opponent until I've got 3 more wins, or something. Put a bit of jeopardy on the line. Put himself out there in a position to put the pressure on him to make sure that he gets a finish of Jared Gordon. Because if he can't finish Jared Gordon, who he's tough, he's a veteran, but if Paddy's supposed to be at the level that he keeps saying that he believes he's at, then he's got to go through guys like Jared Gordon.
Oh yeah, 100%. So as you say a minute ago about Gilbert, that's my thoughts on it too, man. Is he just too many fights in such a short time? I mean, excellent for the fans. We're all loving it. We're going, fucking hell, check this guy out. He's jumping in there and fighting, being so active. It's incredible. But at the same time, did we see the downside of a fighter being that active at the weekend? Was his hand compromised before he went in? Was it compromised due to the fight? Personally, Bilal was landing that left leg kick. Left leg kick. Left body kick all night, absolutely slamming those shins into the side of him. Was he trying to defend it? Was he dropping that right hand? Did it get caught and that's when it got compromised, or what happened with it? Who bloody knows? I mean, but you could see I think Joe Rogan said he looked ejected. He really did.
He looked like he just didn't want to be there, and I don't know why. I don't know why Henry Hoof didn't say, "Come on, it's just not our night. Yeah. You're compromised. Let's save it for another day." I didn't realize as well, just looking at his page now, Gilbert's 36 years old. He's gonna be 37 years old in July. Body just doesn't heal at that age like he did 5-10 years. Not that fast. So live to fight another day. I would be as a fan of Gilbert Burns, I would be very happy to not see him fight again this year, or at least like the last card of the year in December or something like that. But he needs to take some serious time off.
Yeah, 100%, man. I'm with you on that one. I mean, I'm quite happy for Bilal though, and everyone's like, again, I've seen people comment on Twitter. I can't remember, it's the Scouse guy who normally does some stuff with BT around the UFC. I can't ever fucking remember his name.
Oh, Nick Pete.
Yeah, I think so. He come out with a comment saying, "Oh, anybody else would have fucking finished him there. I mean, anybody else in that division against a one-arm Gilbert Burns would have finished Gilbert Burns. So what does that tell you about Bilal? Blah, blah, blah." It tells you about Bilal. He just come off fucking Ramadan. He got the shout 2 weeks ago, and he stepped into that octagon and played a really fucking smart fight is what he's done. Yeah, I mean, he's not rushed into any bits where he might get caught, because a one-arm Gilbert Burns is still a fucking Gilbert Burns. You know what I mean? Like, I've said this in my own podcast today, he threw a head kick towards the end of the fight that was almost clipping Bilal, and it was like, holy shit. You know what I mean? So there's no certainty that just because one arm's compromised that Bilal was going to steamroll him and be able to get that KO, TKO, anything like that. You know what I mean? So, but like I say, super happy for Bilal. I think he really, really deserves it. It was an 8-9 fight win streak now or something like that.
Oh, it's a monster win streak, but honestly, he ain't getting the time. I don't think after that, and I suppose the reason why Nick comes out and says something like that is he's got to make it undeniable that he gets a title shot. Yeah. And in terms of making a statement, and I know he won the fight, he looked good, but for whatever reason, and it's probably personality, just winning fights and putting a win streak together has not been enough for Bilal to demand to justify, not justify, but like demand a title shot from the UFC.
Yeah.
And so to think that maybe one more, they're looking for someone to put Shavkat up and over, big name, big, and I can just see it now that they're going to go, "Oh, we know we said it was going to be this was a number one contender fight, but actually, here, Bilal, please fight Shavkat." And I honestly think Shavkat will put Bilal away. I think Shavkat is a absolute monster, and being one of the biggest Leon fans around, I want to see Shavkat away from that title opportunity for as long as possible because I am nervous. I am nervous.
100%, I can understand that, but no, man, I big fan of Bilal. Like you say, I get what you're saying.
I never used to. Yeah,
he's one of those nice guys. No, you're good, man. He's one of those nice guys, and that's why I like him. I mean, he's so polite. He's so fucking courteous. Like, he's an absolute gentleman. He's a fucking. He's just him. And that's what I like about these fighters, man. Like, so I guess that's why I've always enjoyed him. And again, he's a wicked fighter too. Like I say, in my mind, I can see where you're coming from, like with that perspective of what you say. The guy's name is Pete. Or Nick. What was the dude's name?
Nick Pete.
So yeah, dad mind, mate, you'll get used to it. So yeah, Nick Pete, I can see why he's saying it. I can see where he's coming from, the angle of, yeah, you've not really got a name for yourself to be pushing that out there and being demanding this shot, but at the same time, I felt like Bilal did what he had to do to see the 5 rounds out. Don't do anything stupid. Don't get caught by anything big. You know what I mean? Get the strikes accumulating. Just make sure that I'm winning this round for round. And off 2 weeks' notice, man, I'm not going to argue with that kind of performance.
No, I see both sides of that coin. I was just going to say, I didn't used to, Bilal used to sort of rub me up the wrong way. Again, his personality, unsure, and then it changed for me because was it July last year? It was one of the UFC London events. I think it was the July one. He came over and was part of like the Q&A press conference dealio, and the way that he came out and handled himself and dealt with questions, he was brilliant, man, and he earned himself a fan that day, and it really changed my opinion of him. Not as a personality, as a fighter. I think he did really well. I just wonder if enough people will see it and whether he does ultimately get that shot. But he all factors considered, short notice, being fasting for an extended period of time. Yeah, you definitely got to respect that performance as well.
Yeah, right, bro. I think we've been at this for an hour and a half now. I've talked your fucking ear off. So yeah, all the best. Good luck. Congratulations. I hope you fucking go out there and absolutely smash it when your daughter arrives. Obviously, we'll stay in touch.
Absolutely.
But yeah, mate, thanks for coming on. Really fucking enjoyed this one today. It's been good.
Me too, my man. Thank you for reaching out and teeing this up. I really appreciate it, and I've memory banked a few of those little nuggets of information.
If you can't remember any of them, just ping me a DM, man. You know where I'm at. But lastly, before you go, man, fire out all your socials, and that's like everything for you, Punch Drunk and Combat Sports, everything.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. So I'm on Twitter at Lewis Glover MMA, Lewis Lewis, and Punch Drunk at Punch Drunk Pod _. Give us a follow there. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and also I love interviewing and talking with fighters, and you can find all of that over at combatsports.co.uk and the Combat Sports UK YouTube channel as well. So if you're looking for plenty of content with fighters, both from the UK and are sort of all around the world, make sure you subscribe and check out. It's not just me. We've got a whole team of really talented people cranking out content on the daily over at Combat Sports UK.
Wicked, mate. Wicked. All right, again, man, thank you very much. And, take care of yourself, and thank you everybody for fucking tuning in. Adios. Peace.